everyone, and welcome to another brand new episode of Topic Thunder. Here from the Top 10 Show, I am John Roca.
And I am Matt Nost. This is a show we do each and every week for our patrons over at patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. They send in whatever they'd like us to talk about, questions, topics, whatever it may be, and we answer. We don't read them in advance. They come to us, and we do our best to give you a satisfying response, I guess, on some level.
They come to us, yes.
Yeah. Is it your turn to start this time?
Don't remember. Sure. I don't remember, but all right.
Okay.
This one comes from Lawrence Witt. It says, "Hi, guys. Hope you're both doing well. Thanks, as always, for the great content." Well, you're welcome, Lawrence. I finally got around to reading I finally got around to reading Ready Player One, and in that book, the main character enters a fully realized simulation of war games in which he needs to complete a run-through of the film, taking a character's place and completing their lives. If this technology was available, what movie and character would you want to jump in and experience? For me, it would be Mikey in the Goonies, which he spells Goodies, but I'm sure he meant Goonies.
Yeah, I think so, because I've never heard of the Goodies.
Either of them. Matt Nost, this one falls to you. What movie, what character's journey would you want to jump into if you could?
Well, it says which one would you want to jump in and experience?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, how do you not choose some sort of superhero?
Okay.
Just see what that ability is kind of like. To be Thor, and you can summon lightning and pretty much fly and whatever else, or Captain Marvel. That'd be pretty fucking sweet.
But they've all got like pretty messed up stories. You know, you got Thor constantly battling his dad. His brother's always treasoning him or traitoring him, and then you've got a sister that's crazy. You keep going in and out of this relationship. The Avengers are cool, but they're so dysfunctional. Then you put on a crap ton of weight out of depression.
But that's every character that's been around long enough on film. I mean, what do you got? Who do you have that doesn't have
Neo? I would go with Neo in the Matrix. I
thought about that too.
Awesome. Yeah. Just to explore the idea of the simulation world versus the actual world, which a lot of people, kind of have fun thinking is possible or thinking is real. Yeah, I think that would be awesome to be able to do that.
I thought about that. Was the first thing that came to my mind, but then I was like, I don't know, because then the simulation, like what is real and isn't.
Yeah.
But in our perceived world, wow, wouldn't it be sweet to fly like Superman? Be pretty sweet.
Yeah, true. But you're always hiding your identity. You're always worried if someone's going to find out the truth about you.
Yeah. Neo's constantly being, killed.
Yeah.
Escaping that at all times by overwhelming odds, more often than not. So that's not fun.
I got a ride or die though, man. I got Trinity in those black leather pants rolling with me, man. She's a badass.
Is there just like a regular average character as opposed to some fantastical one?
Good question.
You know, it'd be kind of cool to be Kevin Costner, to know that the voices weren't fake and you built this cornfield and then you end up having this incredible experience that is singular.
True. Is there a sequel to that book? I wonder if there's, I feel like there should be like the daughter, like 20 years from now or 30 years from now. Like, what's her story? I would love to explore that as a way of kind of revisiting that Field of Dreams. You know, maybe she's lost her way.
Yeah.
Maybe she's kind of gone off on the other end.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know. Or been more inspired. Now she's like a general manager of a ball club. Could be really interesting. I'm just saying, throwing it out there.
Yeah. She turns into Billy Bean.
Yeah, she turns into Billy Bean. That's right. That'd be good. Is there anyone else?
Go ahead.
What about Harry from When Harry Met Sally? I mean, you end up with her at the end. You've satisfied half of the women in New York. You're a writer. You're successful at what you do. And then you end up with this pretty much soulmate for the rest of your life in a pretty awesome story. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. I think I'd rather do City Slickers if I'm going to pick Billy Crystal.
Really? Okay.
Because being out roping cattle, that's fun. But
fair.
I've never done that. I've never come anywhere near that.
Fair. Fair.
So that's more of an experience that I haven't, gone through.
Right.
So I think I'm gravitating towards those types of movies.
I think
more
you're
so.
missing the big one, where you could be Woody Harrelson in White Men Can't Jump, or
Sure.
what's his face in Hoosiers?
What,
Chitwood.
Jimmy
Jimmy
Chitwood?
Chitwood. Yeah.
Why not? Who doesn't want to shoot 90% or something ridiculous? Somebody compiled the stats from that movie,
Oh,
and
yeah.
his shooting percentage is bonkers. I mean, he is the greatest. Steph Curry, shove it up your keister, buddy, because Jimmy Chitwood is the greatest shooter in the history of man.
Yeah, but you're only seeing the clips they show you in the
I
movie. You're not actually
have to
seeing
go
his
off
stat
of what
line.
I've seen. And you compile those stat lines, his effective field goal percentage, especially for that time. That guy is lights out. He's the
True.
greatest player of all time.
But for as good as he was, the games were always close. So he couldn't have been that good.
Well, he's
close.
LeBron in Cleveland early on, carrying a
Yeah.
bunch of guys where
True.
Mo Williams is your best running mate. You're like, this team is dicey.
Mo Williams. Yikes.
That's just, it's a testament to how good fucking Jimmy Chitwood really is.
Yeah.
I mean, one guy has to revert to granny shots, and even his own fans are clowning him. I mean,
that's true. That's true.
It's not the best situation. That doesn't have championship written all over it. This seems like a Browns winning tradition as opposed to a Patriots. Yeah. But is there another basketball? I mean, how weird would it be to be Shaq if you're like in Blue Chips? But that's doesn't have the best of stories, but just to be Shaq in general.
True. That guy, he hawks everything. I don't know if he does any work to get before he comes on the set. I really think he's just a guy that goes, I know basketball, bro. I just walk out and watch, and then I'll give my opinions. No big deal.
Yeah.
And he's out there hawking toner and the general car insurance. And
general car, the
Pizza Hut or whatever, or Papa John's.
Ointment, the icy hot
that's
stuff. Right. Now he's doing the Domino's pizza.
Yeah,
that's
Domino's.
The dumbest fucking commercial. He walks in. It's me. It's Shaq. And the one guy's like, yeah, I knew the whole time. But at the same time, it's like, did they all find this funny?
I don't know, man.
Was there a group discussion? Be like, that's a good joke. It's really not.
But what's the? I would love to know what the numbers are that prove to these ad executives that Shaq actually equates to increased shares or increased buy volume of your product. I wonder what would be the answer to that. I'm sure there are a couple ad executives who listen to us who could answer that, Matt.
There's definitely metrics they use. I mean, we know about the Q score, but
right?
I'm sure they have internals that they use to gauge how a product does. There's no way they don't.
Right.
So there's an analyst out there can easily answer that question for you. I don't know outside of Q rating.
I'm just shocked that Shaq still can command that kind of thing. I don't know. Because Dwayne Wade, who you could argue is way more accomplished. Well, not way more accomplished, but certainly played more seasons in shape than Shaq. You could argue should have done, could be a better spokesperson for stuff. But there's something about the affability of Shaq.
Yeah, he's got a likability, and he also has been in Sandler movies and whatnot.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so he's got a little bit of this guy can do comedy, and he's got his Jacked and a Fool, so it's like a signature segment that people sometimes see even if they don't watch any basketball whatsoever.
True. Uncle Drew, who was in Uncle Drew.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just he's been a lovable. Think about it. What other NBA star went off and did movies while their career was on its ascension?
No, nobody.
Yeah, nobody.
I mean,
Jordan did it after championship.
He did one, dude. He did one.
I know.
Shaq was doing like Hollywood Steel.
It was like, this guy's magnetic. He's a lot of fun.
Right.
Let's get him in there.
Yeah.
So I think that's why Shaq works so much.
Like LeBron. LeBron won one film, and I guess Trainwreck 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those commercials where he's dancing. Like what if type of he didn't type of thing, or he becomes I don't know. It was strange.
Yeah.
But that doesn't count, obviously, as movie or whatnot. But he hawks a lot of stuff.
What about turn the question around? What would be the worst character? Because you have to make it to the end of the movie, so it's easy to cop out and say someone was killed early on. But like, what would be the worst character that if you were thrown in, woke up one day and you're in a movie simulation when you wake up, what would be the worst movie to wake up and be in?
I would say Ed Norton and Rounders, Worm.
Worm. Oh, that's your Worm.
Constantly scamming, like you've got the intelligence, but yet you just want the quick buck.
Yeah.
And you're always scraping by, type of just hustling for no fucking reason when you can easily stop, taking chances when you don't need to, just reckless behavior.
But you can't stop yourself because clearly that's a bit of an addiction.
It's a compulsion.
Compulsion.
But I would enjoy, that entire arc, going through that storyline, the amount of tension and stress that he puts himself through, and it's all self-inflicted. No thanks.
Dude, that's the first thing. After the cops thing, when they kicked the shit out of him in the parking lot. Oh my God, man.
Should have been scamming at the game, man.
Don't scam cops or police, man. Don't do that, dude. Woof.
You
got one? I think mine would probably be Martin Sheen in Apocalypse Now. I don't think I'd like to be Colonel Willard going through all the madness. Yes, does he end up coming out of it? But there's no way that dude isn't damaged for the rest of his fucking life after that experience, I mean, fuck, that shit is so insane, that Apocalypse Now movie. So all the stuff he goes through, and he has to fucking behead a dude, and it's just like, whoa. So I just don't think this is it's a terrible experience, in my opinion.
There's a lot of those, but
oh yeah,
I like yours in that it's what you brought up earlier. He doesn't die early on. It's not like he's got to go through a lot of torment.
What about Apocalypto? Would you want to be the guy who's like being chased the whole time?
I don't know. I want to be anybody in that movie. Nobody's life looks all that great.
Maybe the conquistadors who arrived, but not anybody else.
They just spent how long on a ship?
Oh, good point. Yeah,
with rats and carrying disease and all that stuff. No,
right. Good point.
That kid might have the best life of all those people. I'm not sure I want to do any of that jazz.
No shit. All right. Well, what's our next one, man?
Well, thank you for the question, Lawrence.
Yes. Thank you, Lawrence.
And we are moving on. This comes from Tim Williams.
Oh, yes.
It says, "G'day, blokes. Hope things are great on your end. Fellas, my question this week is, what are some movies you went to see at the cinema, then walked out during the movie? Also, for what reason? Was it just bad, boring, too long, offensive? I can give you a movie I walked out on that ticked all the boxes. Independence Day 2. I wasn't expecting it to be mind-blowing, but good God, was that movie a shithouse. Anyway, thanks, blokes, for a good one. Hooroo.
Yeah.
Hooroo? Okay. Timothy R. Williams. What is hooroo?
That's just something the Aussies say down there. It's kind of a chant.
Hooroo. Wow, really? I have never heard that.
Yeah. Tim's an avid listener to the stereo show I do with Lady Outlaw on the weekends, and he leaves messages all the time. Really fun guy. He said Matt Nost's Australian accent broke his ears when you did it.
I'm sure. I don't practice that shit. Let's hear your American.
Yeah. Oh, his American is terrible. He's done his American.
And you've heard it?
Oh, yeah. He's done it because I've made fun of his Australian accent throughout the show. And sometimes he puts his buddies on there to leave messages, and I make fun of their accents because I'm not a fan of the overt Australian accent. It drives me insane.
Okay.
I like the more subtle, like the softer Australian accent, but that kind of like, all that kind of like fucking shit drives me insane.
So you like the posh Australian, but not the common blue collar vernanever?
I love how you try to twist the narrative to make me a villain.
I'm not twisting the narrative. It sounds like you like Nicole Kidman.
I never said.
It sounds like, well, I'm just saying in my head.
Nicole Kidman. Yes. That's subtle.
But that's the Australian you like. It's very soft.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman's Australian accent. Soft.
It's very soft. Posh. Okay.
I don't know about posh. I don't know where these people came from. I don't know if they're posh, but it's softer. Whereas kind of like the more, hey, yeah, what you doing there, mate? Like that, I'm going to bash my head in a wall, man. It just drives me insane.
Well, it's just different dialects. We have numerous of them.
Oh, sure. Of course.
Across the U.S. It's amazing how many slight variations there are in such a close proximity to one another. Because like Baltimore is different from New York, which is different from Jersey, which is different from Pittsburgh,
which is Philly.
Philly, which is different from New England. It's like, dude, you guys all grew up an hour, 2 hours from all of you. How do you come up with this many variations?
Literally on the same landmass. literally
Yeah.
on the same landmass. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's bananas.
Same thing down in the South, right? Georgia, and even Southern Georgia versus Northern Georgia, and then Carolina, Kentucky, Bama, Tennessee, all different variations on a Southern accent. So interesting.
Well, I mean, some of them are, you go down to like Louisiana or down to that area.
Oh, the Cajun.
You're gonna have Creole and Cajun influences and whatnot, so that's gonna change it. I think it's I guess they're about at the same close proximity as all the different like Northeast ones.
Yeah.
They're all kind of the same, just variations on little. Now we say it like this here. Baltimore for Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Baltimore. Okay. But
I was reading. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. You were reading what?
I was reading a article on The Wire because bring up Baltimore and David Simon because she started listening to the Wire podcast with Jamel Hill and LeVar.
Who started listening?
My girlfriend.
Okay.
Because she's in, obviously we've told you she's massively into The Wire, but like she was mentioned that. So I started looking up some stuff with David because I hadn't thought about it in a bit. So I started looking up, and I read an article that said David Simon had pitched a spinoff of The Wire called The Hall, where it would follow Carcetti, the politician, and his administration as they navigated through Baltimore. And he pitched this just when like the ratings were starting to decline for The Wire. And I remember and it says in the article, the HBO exec said, no, we're not doing that. There's no way that people want to watch 2 shows from the city of Baltimore. Nobody wants to watch that. And I was like, holy shit. Because they got 75 shows from Chicago Med, Chicago Fireplace, Chicago, whatever.
Yeah.
But Baltimore, you can't have 2 shows. God forbid.
I think that's just a weird way of saying it's not doing. We love the show, but it doesn't do numbers.
Yeah.
So we need to move on as much as we may like that idea. It's like a loss, the investment is not returning as great a dividend as these other shows. So we got to move on, potentially find another big hit. Because it didn't really catch fire until it was off air.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Because I mean, it started out 4 million viewers an episode in the first season or so. And then it just dropped to like 1 million an episode by the end of the
season 2 it takes a right turn.
That's
what you don't expect.
Yeah I think that's what killed the show in the long run.
Could be
that thing kind of cut the viewers in half. Like, wait a minute, you made me care about these characters, now you're completely doing. But for those of us who love the show, we think that's awesome. So
when you look at it in its totality, I don't know, had I experienced it in real time, how I would have felt about it as I'm watching it. As opposed to, I finished season 2, which I loved. A lot of people slammed it because it is a detour. And like, it shows you that the crime is pervasive. So going into the politics later, that makes just as much sense.
Right.
Like different crimes, like when Omar's on the stand and he's getting drilled about something. And he tells the lawyer, the lawyer is like, "That's what you are. You're just a criminal. You're this. You're a guy that robs other criminals," type of thing. And he's like, "It's what you are. Like we're the same here." You're getting paid on your end. I get paid on my end. We make the system go. You're like, on some level, he's not wrong.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
And then going into the politics, yes, because there's the bribes and influence.
Oh, yeah.
And getting certain things through and not, and the navigation of having to deal with all these different things. It would have been great. I would have loved that. But I don't know why they got to slam Baltimore to get out of making it. It seems like there's easier ways than to just flip off of an entire city.
Well, New York executives, what do you expect, man? What do you expect?
The New York elite, man. In their ivory towers.
Fuck Baltimore, man. Fuck them. All right, so Matt, have you, back to Timothy's question?
Yes.
What are some movies you went to see at the cinemas, then walked out of during the movie, and why?
Damn it. Now I can't remember. I'm getting to that age. I either walked out of Island of Dr. Moreau or 8mm.
Okay.
I hated both, though. Those are the 2 worst movie going experiences I've ever had. Because now if I saw the trailer for either of those, I don't know if it entices me enough. Although with the AMC pass, maybe I do. But it's much harder. Whereas then it's just like I'd see a trailer or 2 and be like, "Hey, I like Val Kilmer." This looks interesting. Oh, it's a island doctor. Oh, okay, it's by.
Ooh,
So I,
it's a
intrigued.
remake. Oh,
Fucking Christ, did I hate both of those movies?
yes. You got to watch that Val documentary on Amazon.
Oh, I have.
Oh, you have? Okay. Or Hulu, rather.
I have.
think it's Hulu.
Yeah. I don't know if we talked about it. I think we
Yeah.
did, but
Yeah.
according to him, he was a good dude on that set. He was good.
I just
people.
wanted what was best for the
Yeah, I'm out here, me and the only other actor I can get to be on camera with me because I don't have truck with anybody else.
Yeah.
So it's the English actor. Is it David Nevin?
David Thewlis.
Yeah. Just the two of them, and it's Val like, dude, I'm pretty cool, right? And he's like, yeah, no, you're cool. You're cool. It's the essence of what they're saying.
Right.
It's 2-3 scenes. That was a nice spin.
Yeah.
Those scenes passed, and I told Catherine, I was like, okay, so the real story behind Island Dr. Moreau is this. And he's just sold you what seems to me like a variation on the truth, bordering on this might be a lie.
Yeah.
Or a complete fabrication. Because no other account that I have ever seen says that thing was anything other than hell.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was a good spin.
Yeah, when they post that audio Frankenheimer going crazy, I'm like, yeah, because I would too. I would too if I was dealing with this nonsense all the time. And
nonstop.
I was being brought in to just finish this fucking movie because the other guy took off. And I interviewed him, Richard Stanley, when he was doing Color Out of Space. And I asked him about the thing because they did that documentary about him, which is fucking awesome to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he talked about it. He's like, he went off into the fucking woods and became one of the extras on the set afterwards. And they didn't even know he was an extra. And he was just there on the set with the makeup on the whole time. So interesting. It's crazy. So
that just adds to the beautiful array of crazy that came off of that set.
Yeah, agreed.
If you walked out of a movie, I can't.
Oh yeah, it's in the single digits, but I have. And I tell you what, I would have walked out of more while I was at Collider if I didn't have to review the movie for Collider.
Well, yeah, that's I think a horse of a different color on some level.
Yeah, that's the thing that I didn't really understand when I got into the job is how many this job that I still have now, how many movies that you're going to watch. It's insane. Like this weekend, I've got to watch like 4 movies to do reviews for them. But like when you have to watch a bad movie, it's fucking rough, dude.
I can't imagine like knowing going into it, this is dog shit.
Yeah.
Everybody that I may have talked to already has said it's dog shit.
Yeah.
And they have the audacity to make it 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Great. I don't mind it when it's 90 and be like, it sucks, and be like, it's 90 minutes.
Yeah, you can power through 90. It's when it crossed the 2 hour mark. You're like, what the fuck?
Anything where it's getting close to 2 hours to in excess of that, and like it sucks. And be like, I don't want to watch this in the slightest. Fuck.
Yeah. The first movie I walked out of was Turner and Hooch. I just absolutely hated that movie.
I liked that as a kid. I didn't like as much as K9.
K9 I like. I enjoyed K9.
Yeah, I was
Turner and Hooch was like, I just walked out. I remember that was a thing I'd never done before. I was an hour into the movie and I was like, I'm just bored. I was there with my best friend and we were like, do you want to go? And he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's get out of here. And we just didn't like
greater feeling.
Yeah, to know that someone else is with you.
This sucks, right? And they're like, oh, thank God you said something. Like, this is why we're friends. Let's fucking leave.
Let's vamoose.
Let's go.
I just don't get why people like that movie. It's so fucking Molly. What do you call maudlin? It's so fucking maudlin. And then Batman and Robin, which I've still never finished and never will finish, I don't think. After the motorcycle scene with Alicia Silverstone, I was like, get the fuck out of here. So I walked out. It's so stupid, man.
Yeah. I mean, I would say see it just to see it in all its awful glory.
Maybe
I don't like the movie, but it is amazing how many just brutal choices were made. Incredible. Now plus we've had the Dark Knight trilogy to compare, and now we have the new Batman coming out, and it's just like, look what you did with the character versus what others did. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I love the behind the scenes of that when people, actors would be like, well, what's my motivation? And Schumacher would just be like, it's a comic book movie. Who cares? Literally, that was his
Just
rejoinder
cash
to
the
any
check.
question of why. What is the artistic endeavor here? Like, it's a
Mm.
fucking he got condescended to the
Oh
art
yeah,
form.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's why take the job? And then you see the choices, and he's like, Arnold, go full Batman TV show villain. That makes sense. It's pretty great.
Everybody chill. I
And I
remember.
will say Arnold is great in it
Oh
because
yeah,
he does precisely what he's asked to do.
right. Exactly. Super cheesy.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember I used to, back in my poor days in the 90s, I used to sneak into theaters and would go to the multiplexes and see movie after movie after movie. I remember one day I walked out of 3 movies
Jesus.
in a day because I thought I'll give him a chance.
Yeah.
Bulletproof, the Adam Sandler, Damon Wayans movie.
Okay.
It was horrific.
All right.
And I remember at the time I had the newspaper, right? Because we didn't have Google at the time. We didn't have fucking internet at the time on your phone and shit. So I had the newspaper. So I'd have like the time. So I was timing these screenings. So I was like, well, I'll go to a later one. I was like, nah, fuck this. The other one is starting. I'm going to go in that. And then I went to see Maximum Risk, the Jean-Claude Van Damme film with Natasha Henstridge.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Legitimately worth walking out of. Sure.
That was so fucking bad, dude. And I can't remember the third movie I went into. Ronin. It was Ronin, I think. And then I walked out of Ronin. I came back later.
Really, I like Ronin.
Watched it. It's not bad, right? I don't know. I think I was just burned by those first 2 films that my patience was like almost at empty. So that when it just got to be a little kind of cheesy, I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I think that was the third movie, but 3 movies walked out of in the same day.
Well, when you're not paying though, it's a different animal.
Of course, it's a lot easier to walk.
Yeah, it is. You put no stakes in the game.
Yeah.
And according to Bulletproof's box office, had you paid, you would have been 5% of the gross that weekend. That's how few people saw that fucking movie. You know what's weird? I don't know if I've ever seen a Jean-Claude in a theater.
Really?
I don't believe so.
Shit, I saw every single one of his in a theater until The Quest. The Quest was the last one. Like once I saw The Quest, I'm like, I'm never going back again to watch a Jean-Claude.
I found him on Showtime or Cinemax because his movies never made it to HBO.
Right.
So it was always another channel not named HBO.
It's probably because they're set in Baltimore. They're all set in
Baltimore. But I saw them on cable and he existed. He was the greatest cable star to me for a stretch where it's just like, oh, he's got another banger. Oh man, this is awesome. What is it? Double Identity with him and his twin brother.
Double Impact.
Double Impact. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bloodsport.
Yes.
Never the biggest kickboxer fan, but I like it.
Huh?
It's just when you got Bloodsport, it's like, man, you got Bloodsport. But all of those, every single one of those, Time Cop.
Oh, Time Cop was good. Time Cop, I think, is his best one.
Excellent.
That's his best one.
Yeah, Bloodsport. Come on. What do you want to watch Jean-Claude Van Damme do?
Come on.
You want to see him fight. That's the whole fucking point. And maybe dance, too. And maybe dance.
Oh, yeah.
I do like it's the cheesiest. For a guy as flexible, limber, and athletic as you are, this is pretty terrible.
Have you seen him do that on talk shows? It is hilarious when he redoes the film or the dance. It is hilarious, man.
Does he go into the splits?
No, he does not do the splits, but he does the whole like thing that he does. It's so terrible. Oh my God. So I'm looking up what else. So Bulletproof came out in 96.
Okay.
What month? September. So I was September of 96 that I was sneaking into these fucking movies. And I'm now
96. So Ronin was well before then.
Yeah, so it wasn't Ronin. Yeah, Bulletproof, Maximum Risk. That was showing at the time. What was the other one that I didn't know? Oh, well, it is what it is. It is. Oh, Last Man Standing. That's right. That was the Bruce Willis remake.
The Bruce Willis?
Oh, horrific. That movie. And I thought it was going to be great. Because it's Walter Hill who did 48 Hours and Warriors. Christopher Walken. It's a remake of Yojimbo. And was it For a Few Dollars More? And I was like, oh, let's do this. Or Fistful of Dollars. And I was like, let's do this. This is going to be good. And then it was.
I've never seen that thing all the way through.
Dog shit, bud.
Well, I was I wouldn't. I guess I was close to the right age. I think it was like 16 at that time, 17. So I could have seen it. Like, you know, I'm not sure how steeped in westerns I was at that point. Well, I mean, I'd seen the biggies, Good, Bad, and the Ugly, but I
Right.
don't know if I'd seen as many of Clint's at that point. Unforgiven,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course.
Okay. Fair enough.
But just
Fair
to
enough.
get the references to understand the
Yep.
overall arc of the story. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've never seen that all the way through. I remember the trailer for it too.
Yeah. 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 That was a bad fucking day. It was a bad fucking day.
What else did I hate? I
So-
fell asleep in Hitman.
Which one's Hitman?
The
The video game one.
video game one.
Yeah. Oof.
My two nephews that came with us, we both walked out and was like, that was the greatest movie of all time. And it's like, I fell asleep. I was hungover, but I fell asleep. It's rare. I fell asleep in King Kong, the Pete Jackson.
Oh yeah.
I
don't ever need to see that movie again.
Well, I was. It's like one of two times I've been drunk in a theater. We were drinking after a show, and then everybody got a wild hair up their ass to go see King Kong. I'm not kidding. We went to a midnight showing, and me and another dude were like, "Why are we doing this?
That's a 2.5 hour movie."
Yeah, we've been drinking for 2-3 hours already.
God.
Why are we going to see King Kong? And I fell asleep for a big chunk of it too.
Wow.
Mhm.
No surprise. There was not much to wake up for. I don't care. Anybody listening who loves them, I don't.
I've gone back. Yeah, I've watched it since, seen what I missed, and watched the movie a second time, and it's not. Yeah,
It's not.
It's just not.
I would argue it's the worst of the remakes of King Kong.
What with the Bridges and Faye Dunaway is the other? Is it Faye?
No, it was Jessica Lange. It was
Jessica Lange. That's right.
But yeah, I like that one better than the Pete Jackson one.
Okay.
You know, all the CGI was just.
Oh, I liked the ape. It's just the story and, the original, they didn't show how they got the ape back. So Pete Jackson was like, oh, that's the greatest cheat in movie history. I don't have to do that either.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, they did that because of the limitations of stop motion and budgetary restrictions. You have a blank check. That's a bullshit type of.
After Lord of the Rings, you have a blank check. Yeah, exactly.
You do. So maybe cut the ice skating scene.
Oh, fuck. That was the one, man.
Yeah, and some of the on the island stuff. And let's just get into the heart of who we give a shit about in this story.
I think someone grabbed my arm and kept me from walking out after the ice skating scene, because I was like, this is fucking stupid, man.
Sadly, I wasn't asleep for that part. I was asleep. I fell asleep and woke up right before he started fighting the dinosaurs, but I missed like a good chunk of the island.
Oh, yeah. Plus, Brody and Naomi Watts had little to no chemistry as a romantic couple in that film.
Brody's character, I think you can cut entirely.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah.
That has no impact on the story. If memory serves, I'm not going to go back and watch it again.
Yeah. Plus, I don't think Naomi's, I don't find her as this kind of femme fatale type thing. It's not really a natural vibe. So like in Eastern Promises, she's awesome in Eastern Promises. That's the kind of movies that she excels in. But this whole thing where she's the object of desirous affect, I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. I don't sense her energy in that direction. Not that she can't be for someone, obviously. Liev Schreiber married her and all of that, but I'm just saying, I'm sure she doesn't lack for male attention. It's more a matter of like her opinion, right? Like Diana, like I saw in the Diana movie, I was like, oh, this is horrible casting. She doesn't exude that. It doesn't, and she's a great actress. It just doesn't, some people are miscast in certain roles, and I thought she was miscast in King Kong, and certainly the Diana movie, for God's sake. So, but she's a great actress, just not the right choices.
Diana's kind of tough, though.
It is. I don't think anybody can do. I mean, the woman on the Crown, Emma Corrin, she's the closest.
Yeah.
Closest. I don't sense from the Kristen Stewart trailers I've seen that she's gonna do more than do the emo version of Diana. And nothing against Kristen Stewart, like she's been really good in these smaller films that have been coming out recently, but I don't like. I saw the trailer, I'm like, oh yeah, this is Kristen Stewart doing Diana. This is not Diana. It's like Marilyn Monroe. Nobody can do Marilyn Monroe. I don't care how many people they cast. Nobody can do Marilyn. Nobody has that fucking
but given enough
blazing
time, it won't matter
sexuality.
anymore. So
Yeah, I know. That's the scary truth, Matt. You're absolutely right. As I'm getting older, I'm seeing like new generations pop in who don't care about learning about the past movies. It's kind of scary. Oh, the past stars. They don't have the same reverence, you know. It's a shame.
true. It's just there's so many now. Like
Yeah.
some of the pictures from the Met Gala, like this is
Oh,
so
yeah.
and so and so and so, and I didn't even search those out, and I was like, I don't know who either of those people are. I wasn't completely out of touch. I knew, like they posted those 4-picture albums, and there was like a chain
Yeah.
of them, and I went through just to what are the ridiculous outfits that they're putting on.
Right.
Okay, and yeah, I'm not kidding. There was more than one instance where that happened, and one or two where I'm like, I don't know one of these two people.
Yeah.
But by and large, I still knew most, but there was names where I don't even know what you do.
Right.
Like,
right. Who
are you an artist? Are you a musician? Are you an actor? I don't have this. If you're an actor, I've got a good shot.
Right.
Musician, I don't know. They just crop up so quickly now, thanks to YouTube and social media and stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody can go from of relevance to, just massive status.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're at 36 minutes. We should cut this show now. Yeah. Thank you so much, Timothy, for that last question. Thanks to everybody who sent in a question today. Lawrence Witt. Oh no, it was just Lawrence Witt and Tim. It was just a 2-question day. All right, 2-question day. Thank you all so much for sending them in. Thanks to everybody who's been sending in the questions, thoughts, and comments. And please keep sending them in, ladies and gentlemen. We like to have a surplus. So please keep sending them in. If you're a patron at the $5 and above level, you have access to send in, and the address I think is there on the Patreon, right, Matt?
Yes, it is. So head to patreon.com/the top 10 and join us over there. And you can follow the show at Top 10 Show on Twitter and on Instagram and YouTube. It is /the top 10 podcast with the number 10. And please follow me at Matt Nost.
There you go. You can follow me at The Roca Says on Twitter and on Instagram. And Matt, I discovered this thing where I can up-res our video from 720p to 1080p in terms of our intro video. So I'm debuting it now as our end video here on the show. So
okay. All right. Fantastic.
so
Let's see it.
We'll talk to you next time on another episode of Topic Thunder.